Alright, just going to do a quick video for the Prophets indicators and just how to set the alerts up and just how to navigate that interface. It is a little bit different from the default way of doing alerts. We usually just come up here and click alert and then apply your criteria in here. The way Hazer has set this up, the developer of the indicator or indicators, we go into the indicator, any of the Prophet suite ones. And once you go into the settings of them, down the bottom you see a bunch of tick boxes. Okay, we tick these tick boxes based on what the alert we want to get from this indicator. So we get to choose all our different variations of alerts here instead of having to manually do them one by one like you used to have to do. So the way Hazer has set this up is these are your triggers for the alert. Okay, so this is when the alert will come through based on these, and then the alert entries overrides of the default. So if you wanted a yearly pivot with a pin bar, then that would be that alert, and you'd go and set that up and then lock that in. But if you just wanted any form of touchdown on the yearly pivot and that to be an alert, you just have that ticked and you wouldn't need to use these. Okay, these are for specific kinds of entries. So if you get a pin bar come down to the yearly level, closes the pin bar after touching it, then that would alert you and say, hey look, price rejected falling underneath the yearly pivot. It's probably a good time to look for a long, right? So that's how you'd set these up. We'll go and look at the other ones real quick. So that's Oracle. Oracle's based on the horizontals. We'll go to say Prophesier. Prophesier is the oscillator. Okay, and then we've got more down here on this as well. So we've got all the different alerts down here. Right, you get to choose your values based on the RSI here. So if you want an alert when RSI hits 10 or 20, because that's usually a pretty good time to start looking at price. If you ever get that low, you can allocate all that here yourself. Okay, and then up here you can tick on the alerts that you want. So if you get bullish divergence on the time frame you're currently on, so the 4 hour, and you want to see the bearish divergence on these as well. Okay, so we can tick all of these if we wanted to. Go OK, and to actually set up the alert we have to go up here to the alert. Okay, we just choose the indicator, so we choose Prophesier in this case, and then this any alert function call here, there's drop downs, we ignore this, we don't need to touch this, right, because it's pulling the information out of the tick boxes we did just before. Okay, so because of that we don't need to alter this at all. Okay, we can change this around if we want, based on how you want to be alerted or where you want to be alerted to. If you've got webhooks or the rest of it, these features are pretty straightforward. You can change the alert name if you wanted to as well for down here, based on the alert you'll set up. So if you've set up one custom one, maybe just for divergence on the bull side, maybe this is just a bullish setup. So you'd be like Prophesier bull divergence or something, right? So in that case, if you were to set it up like that, you would go here and only tick the bullish, right? So just the bullish of these. You get rid of the bearish there, and that could be our bullish setup, and we can go and label that as the bullish. So we go back into the alert, choose the indicator Prophesier, and we can just be like Prophesier. Oh, if I can spell bullish divergence, right? So whenever there's triggers, and say we get a pop-up for it, we'll know that there's bullish divergence. If we're going to set this for a specific time frame, we can be like 4 hour, or you can even have that at the front, right? So 4 hour. So you see that in your maybe text pop-up or on your smartwatch if you use it like I do. And that way you know there's bullish divergence coming in instead of just an alert from Prophesier. So you can customize it in that way as well, and then lock that in. Usually you'll get this little thing that pops up. It's usually because you're using a custom indicator. It's quite often that most custom indicators will suffer from this. So you just go okay, got it, and go continue anyway, and the alerts will work as per normal. And then just the last one of those was profit. So we'll let that pop up. Indicators here. Cool, we're in. Okay, cool. So we scroll down to the bottom. Again, we've got alerts. These ones are pretty straightforward, right? So there's a bullish trend strategy signal, so that's up here. Where is the trend strategy signal? Higher, this one. Right. So once this finally locks in a buy or a sell, you'll get the alert for it, okay? So majority of this range, it has been saying it's ugly. Alright, so every time that one of these ping pings come up, it would have given you an alert if you'd set it up for this time frame on the 4 hour here. It really doesn't like this non-trending market though. In the trend, that's why it's called the trend signal. In the trend, it's very strong, gives you nice fresh entries. But when the market's sideways like this, it's not so good. So that's trending down, and it has been keeping you short and not long, so it's done its job. But that's how it would work in regards to the alerts. Right, so you'd pick what you want, go into the alert up here, choose the indicator, so profit in this sense. We don't need to change any of this, because that's what the tick boxes are for in the indicator. We set this up, we can label this if we want, trend strat, right? And we can write profit so we know where it's come from. And just keep it simple like that. Click create, and then that'll lock in as well. When you get your alerts, they'll be over here. You can alter them. I'll just delete these ones that I've got previously as a test or a trial or whatever they were. Right, and then the three I've just made here. We can pause them if you want to be, if you want to turn them off for a while. You can turn them off, or alter them, or just delete them. Right, so delete the ones I just made now and get them off. What I've gone and done for what I watch is the IOTA BTC pair, the IOTA USDT pair, and Bitcoin. And I'll set alerts up on the 4 hour and the 1 day of pretty much all of that, all the tick boxes and the way I prefer them on my default setup. Sorry, my primary setup, not my default. The default would be factory. And they will just constantly come at me, right? So I know what the market's doing without having to be staring at the screen if I'm not around. Every 4 hour close. Sometimes it can be a little bit much, but it depends on how hands-on this market you want to be or how attentive to it. You don't have to use, like, say 4 hour. You can have it just 1 day. Yeah, it's up to you guys to how you want to use that. But I'll wrap this up here. That's just for the alerts. They're pretty straightforward. And if you have any issues outside of what I've just discussed, just hit us up in the Discord. This is Hayes' realm, so I suggest hit him up, and he should be able to solve any questions or concerns or the rest of it you might have. Alright, cheers.